Welcome to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Kadawfi Crush, and I'm joined by Liquid Gold Steve.
The best TV movie that wasn't a TV movie.
I don't think it was theatrical, but it was a kick-ass TV movie, if you ask me.
Direct to DVD.
Shit, direct to TV, direct to TNT, TBS. Today, we're going to be talking about Guyver, Dark Hero. Now, as y'all are well aware, we've already talked about Guyver, the Guyver, with Mark Hamill.
And
we talked about just exactly how garbage that was. And I told Liquid Gold Steve then that it's worth getting through this garbage one to get to Guyver, Dark Hero.
The first one, yes. And you've heard it already, folks. The best we could get out of it was the costume design and maybe a few fight scenes, possibly. But compared, it's like apples to oranges. This whole movie just slapped its dick across the first one.
Oh yeah,
like it from the beginning fucking scene, just a dark alley, Dark Hero.
Yeah, like over here at the docks, taking down gangsters. Like,
they were selling cocaine and Barbie dolls.
And it was the what is it? The Colors of Benetton gang. You know, like a gang that would never actually exist in real life. You got an Italian mafioso running a whole bunch of Mexicans, whites and blacks, and Asian guys. They're all together in a group wearing separate bandanas and separate types of like everything. There's no gang that exists like that.
It literally was just ruffians. He was just fighting ruffians.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. But this guy had what was his operation? He had like baby dolls that were, of course, they were made of plastic, but they were infused with cocaine. And if you were to melt down the plastic, you would get pure cocaine back.
YouTube, don't take us down for telling people how to make cocaine.
That's not how you make cocaine. You're gonna melt. That doesn't work like that.
Hey, we're talking about Guyver, Dark Hero.
You have to snort the Barbie doll. You have to snort the Barbie doll to get the cocaine back out of it. That's not how shit works.
So, Kadawfi Crush, we meet the main character, Sean.
We've already met Sean once, but this is going to be a new Sean.
New Sean.
Brand new Sean. Brand new Sean. Steve has gone to calling him
Solid Snake.
David Hayter.
Because it's David Hayter.
Well, fucking, we switched up from whatever this other kid's name was.
Aikido Dan. To the motherfucking man. Like, we went from dude who was like, I'm a defend myself to I'm a fucking kill you. Like, there was two different people.
Oh yeah,
fighting.
like absolutely. Like the guy that you meet in Guyver, Dark Hero. I mean, legit as it could, Dark Hero. This dude comes through with the come through and just starts wiping out these fucking gangsters. Like, he's actually kind of showing off on how he can whoop their ass. Like when he just kind of like tap kicked that one guy and the guy did a backflip.
Well, okay, it's a Guyver. It's a bio-boosted armor. Like, he should have, like, super strength anyway.
But he out here showing off. Like, when he clotheslined the guy.
Hey, he's being Batman with super strength.
He was being Moon Knight.
Okay.
He was being
Fair.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Because he had no problem killing. You get to see his first real kill. I mean, he might have killed those other guys kicking the shit out of him like that, but that clothesline, he might have killed that guy. With that clothesline, that guy's neck.
Was it a brawling clothesline? But
you know, when the guy did the backflip across the room.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy did a backflip like he was running 100 miles per hour and got his head taken off.
So, man, after that scene, he gets out the Guyver because, like, you can just shape shift out of it. Like that. Do you think the Guyver was controlling him? Because he didn't want to kill nobody, but he murdered that man. Spoilers for a movie that came out in 94, a TV movie that came out in 94.
I think he didn't have control of the Guyver 100%. So there's some progression you actually get to see from the first movie to the second movie. what you just mentioned is how he's able to swap in and out of the Guyver suit like that. He's learned how to do that, how to manifest it, but he still hadn't quite learned how to quench its thirst, so to speak.
Control it.
Hadn't learned how to, put that dog in his cage.
Which is fair because you always have to have progression. You can't. I'm happy they made this movie a progression movie and not a remake. Like I didn't want to see Uncle Ben die again.
Right. Yeah, we just saw that. We didn't really need to do that again.
Like I know it was a failure in the first one, but I like at least they went and continued on with it.
Yeah, they gave you just a year later.
Why was he in an army jacket and had dog tags? Like, what was he doing in that whole year? Was he with National Guard? Because there's no way he was like...
He wouldn't be able to go. Like, he's involved in taking down Kronos and shit, and that's why he's like kind of like hiding out. He's like hiding out in the shadows, taking out little crimes here and there, and watching, what do you call it? Tabloids? Watching the tabloid news.
Because it's going to say the wild shit around the world.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, this was wild shit or this is something real.
And you thought Men in Black did it first.
But like, that's what a superhero does, man. Like, that's what a superhero would do. Because he's an anti-hero, technically.
He's a dark hero.
Dark hero.
Very dark, edgy guy.
Hey, before we finish the first part of the first scene and we continue on with this wonderful TV movie.
It is wonderful. It's a good TV movie.
I liked at the end of it, even though he fucking like murdered that man, he signed his name so fucking cool on the sheet metal.
Like he knew we were filming a movie or some shit. Like how you gonna use the little laser ball?
No, it was his calling card for the police. That's what it was.
It's not what he does. Yeah, it's not it. Because like the police even were mentioned. They were like, "Oh, he's the armored vigilante." They didn't call him Guyver. No one saw that for real. That was just for us.
Whatever.
Kind of like Daredevil, lighting his name on fire.
Yeah, Dee was kind of cool. The whole other movie, the whole rest of the movie with Ben Affleck, sucked ass.
Yeah, that was some bad.
All right. We ain't talking about bad movies. We're talking about a great movie. We're talking about a great movie. All right. So, Kadawfi. What happens next in the adventures of Guyver?
So he hears about a werewolf. He hears about a werewolf attack up at an archaeological dig. And apparently he's cliche been drawing pictures from his dreams. And they're really bad. Like, I think he drew them for real. Like, they're really bad. Like,
well, they never said Sean was a painter or anything or an artist.
Them shit, it looked like he did them all with like the crayon from Blue's Clues.
Man, shut up.
The big crayon with the thinking pad.
First, hey, we talking about Steve, man.
Anyway, but when we use our minds, take a step at a time. And anyway, you can do anything,
Guyver,
that you wanna do. Once I start that shit, I gotta sing it. My fault. Anyway, next adventures finds a werewolf down an archaeological dig
in Utah. Some random place in Utah.
Fucking randomly in Utah. So he hitchhikes all the way to Utah, walks into a gas station, and I mean, bruh, just happens to run into like the daughter of the guy running the archaeological dig.
Movie's got a movie.
Movie's got a movie.
I have to ask a question. In the series Guyver, I know this doesn't happen, but does what happened with him and his girlfriend actually happen, or was it just movie being movie?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say this out loud. I'm not 100% sure if I've seen all of what Guyver has to offer for anime. I know I haven't continued the manga at all. Like I think I've read like a chapter or two of the manga.
Well, guess what? We're gonna be doing Guyver too. So
but when it comes to that scenario, this second movie kind of picks up some of the things the first movie left out, some of the plot beats and points, And there is a point where he decides to like, he admits he's just kind of like, man, fuck that, but it doesn't last very long. It's not like a big ordeal. It's kind of more like he's trying to protect her, but it doesn't happen anything like this at all.
All right. Well, getting back to meeting the daughter of the dig site, movie's got a movie.
Movie's got movie's got a movie, but at the same time, how many gas stations do you think existed in that very rural part of the world of Utah?
Probably not a lot.
Right,
There's probably a lot of.
He probably had a 50% chance of running into somebody from the dig site, just not likely to be her. However, so he runs into her. He mentions, he wants to go to the dig site and blah, blah, blah. And there's like a whole ordeal where she doesn't even want to talk to him. She kind of hauls ass on him. And then he's like, I need to know. And she's like, oh, shit, I'm a scientist. I know what it feels like to need to know. So she turns her little whip around and decides to pick homeboy up.
There was a lot of 90s moments in this movie. Like, and yes, it was 94, midst of the 90s, but there was a lot of 90s in this movie.
Not like the clothes were super 90s and
oh yeah hairstyles.
The glasses styles were very 90s. No cell phones.
This could be a time capsule movie. Honestly,
motherfucking walkie talkies. The vehicles like were old as shit.
I'm sorry to go off track, but the wildest moment to me is when the government agent pulls out the strap, this automatic, and just starts pointing them at us. I know this is a random beat, but dog, I was fucking just the wildest shit.
The government agent was like a ordeal. So like we eventually get to the camp and they show him around and all this cool shit and kind of let him find out what it is they're doing there. And there's a mysterious black guy. But he's mysterious and a guy named Bob. I want to talk a little bit about Bob.
Why Bob?
I want to talk a little bit about Bob. So our researcher's daughter, her name is Corian, I think Corian, but they call her Corey. She's a attractive young lady, and from what we get to see, she's one of the more attractive young ladies at the dig site. Bob, you could tell Bob liked Corey. You could tell immediately Bob liked Corey. When she said, hey, Bob, he jumped too. He fucking turned around, forgot he was even having a conversation with a mysterious black guy. Forgot all about it. Yes, Corey, yes. Hey, Bob, I want you to show this new, better-looking guy around. From that point forward, you could tell Bob was irritated. There's times in the movie where Corey's looking for Sean or Sean's looking for Corey, and at one point Bob's like, damn, y'all just can't find each other, huh? Did you try looking for her? Instead of asking Bob was salty.
So you're saying there's a subplot in the plot?
There's a
subplot.
Bob is his
action
own
movie.
Bob is his own main character. Just like everybody, you're your own main character in your movie. And Bob just didn't know that he was a side character in somebody else's movie.
So throughout the day, he does his little archaeological thing. How did Sean get through the whole day just acting like an archaeologist?
An archaeologist?
An archaeologist. Like how? Like she just told him, "Oh, he's the dude from State." He was just working on something else, and
well,
it was the 90s.
You could see that Corey nor Sean discovered a goddamn thing down there.
Nope, they didn't.
It was one of those unnamed characters hanging out with Bob that discovered.
Because Bob's cool.
But what's crazy is Bob wasn't paying no damn attention. Bob's standing, man. Okay, back this up a little, TT, because some shit happened before that happened. Hold tight. Eventually, the werewolf comes back and attacks.
That's what I want to get to.
Eventually, the werewolf comes back and attacks. And the werewolf, there's a guy who made the report about the werewolf attacking and it killed his brother. And he brought a reporter out there and the reporter promised him money if the werewolf was real. So they went out there to the woods, and lo and behold, here's the werewolf coming back, and it's a zoonoid. Sean runs his ass out there and gets good and far away from everybody else, and then motherfucking Guyver. Boom! I mean, just an instant transformation. Wasn't no play with this shit no more. Get Sean ready to whoop some ass. He gets out there thinking it's going to be a bear, finds a zoonoid, and is like, oh, bet, we about to get busy.
You know, the funny thing is, when he told everybody, he did the literal hero move. Yeah, go get help. I'm going to go towards the bear. And no one thought, hey, why is he going?
Shit, everybody,
except the government,
except for old girl and the government agent.
They're like, whoa,
like old girl said, okay, you go get the bear. Let me go help. He's gonna go get the bear. Oh shit! And she goes and runs to the government agent, and he's like, oh shit, let me get my strap. He goes out, gets his rifle, and she's like, hey, Sean's out there. He's like, what the fuck? Why? Who does he think he is? Come out here.
He's the motherfucking man.
The motherfucking Guyver, son. You just don't know
Dude,
yet.
I'm telling you, what I told you earlier in the week. This man in the first movie did not look right in the Guyver suit.
Not at all.
In this movie, this man looked
amazing. Like the suit fit him. Like the other guy looked like he was wearing his dad's suit jacket. And it was just like way too big for him.
He was robbing this motherfucking Batman
Straight up. Like,
this is motherfucking Batman.
Like this tall, strapping looking lad.
Like, you saw him fight the gangsters and the mobsters and the ruffians, whatever you want to call them. But when he fought the Zillinoid,
he couldn't wait to show off new moves.
Oh, that was so fucking good, man.
He was like, I don't use no fucking Aikido no more. Then I'm not Steven Seagal. I am about to beat your ass.
This motherfucker threw hands up and down. This man did get beat, but he did get a catch. He caught him one good time.
He didn't get beat. The fight just ended.
It was a draw.
You know, like the people started showing up in their cars. Zoonoid hauled ass, and Guyver was like, man, shit, I gotta transform. The motherfucker see me.
And then the hunter saw him.
But
everyone thought he was hysterical. That's why.
They thought he was hysterical. They thought he was a stupid redneck. You know, ain't nobody trying to hear him. He out here talking about werewolves and shit.
If they would have saw what they saw. But everybody knew what they saw.
Yeah, everybody knew what they saw.
After throughout the movie, you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, by the way, the government agent is the mysterious black man. I forgot to tie those two together. They're the same dude.
Was there any other black people in that?
Yes, there was a black woman. She was friends with Corey. She was the see, I was gonna say Corey was the most attractive at the camp, but then I remembered her. She was Slam Jam.
So he wasn't the only token black dude there.
Well, the token black guy he was, and she was a token black girl. You know, diversity.
Yeah, diversity.
Diversity.
You ever dropped like a little bit of Hershey syrup in milk?
It's called the flying milk.
All right, continue.
Diversity.
He fights the bear. Everyone wants to say, and the government agent takes him aside and says, "Hey, man, what the fuck are you?"
Yeah, he's like, man, like you got claws you ain't showing. Dude's like, man, I ain't the motherfucker with the claws. He gave himself up with that right there.
He kind of did.
That comes back into play later down in the movie, but like,
you can see in this movie, he's a dark hero, but he's a young hero. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I just love how, like I said, that why wouldn't you think Kronos would be somewhere else in the world? But he is.
So Sean is under the impression that he took Kronos out when he took him out in San Francisco,
L.A.
It was
L.A.
LA
branch.
Okay. When he took him out in L.A., he assumed that was the end of them. But I mean, they have businesses all over. They're a giant corporate entity. And apparently they've been around for a very, very long time. They got some of the old history and knowledge, you know?
But that's when the government agent doesn't tell him all of that. He tells a little bit more later on.
Yeah, he kind of exposes the zoonoid kind of exposes the fact that Kronos is still around. Right. And that kind of shocked Sean. So now he has more investment in this cave. Now, the reason why he wants to be at this archaeological dig,
it's calling to him.
It's calling to him. He's having these dreams, and these dreams are showing up as cave paintings in this cave site, this dig site. So now we fast forward to Sean. He tries to like go to sleep, and it like the Guyver won't let him. It's like just rocking in the back of his neck, and just dude's pouring sweat, looking like Danny Glover and fucking Predator 2.
Oh no, Danny Glover when he was about to blow up in Lethal Weapon.
Bruh, I'm telling you, Predator 2 was worse. They was in the middle of LA during the summer.
Oh well,
and Danny Glover running around chasing the Predator. Yeah. That motherfucker was sweatier than basketball nuts.
What the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, him. It was like, well, because the Guyver was close to the ship. I guess the Guyver was trying to get to the ship itself, and it wouldn't make him sleep. That would suck. There was a lot of things that made me think to myself. I was like, yeah, I would like to have a Guyver suit. And then I looked at all the shit that happens, and I'm like, I don't know if I want an actual Guyver suit or not.
I think some of this could have been solved with using your fucking brain. Not you,
training,
but him. He was still kind of running from the situation, still kind of scared of it, even though he had gotten a little better with it. But it seemed like the Guyver forced him to get better with it. You know what I mean? Which is kind of relevant to how the story plays out with Show. Show does not necessarily want the Guyver in him. Like, he's not really a big fan of it at first, and he slowly starts to get more and more used to it and more acclimated to it. He actually even meets another Guyver that teaches him more about the suit, someone who's more willing to test the limits. So
I bet you it's the guy in the busted Guyver. It's the kid.
The kid.
The son.
What are you talking about?
In the show. Because I remember there were I at least remember from the show there was
you did watch a couple episodes.
There was three and there
three units.
There was Show's one.
Yep.
And then the guy, because it's yellow.
Yeah.
It's a busted one. It got dented. And then the third one was from the son who wants to kill people.
Yeah. He's the dark Guyver. The Agito, I think is his name. I think is his name. Agito, I think. Agito, something. But yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot you knew that much.
I at least know that much.
I forgot you knew that much about Guyver. So I was like over here trying to like be all. Hey man,
hey, you're about this with Dark Hero because like you, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you Kadawfi Crush was like just psyched to talk about this damn show or this movie, like he was psyched about this. Like he said, and I quote, "I am so happy I watched that piece of shit first one to fucking finally watch the second one."
Oh yeah, I love the second one. So I've always liked it as a kid. I actually have a funny story about it when I was a kid, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, dude fucking can't sleep. And what happens is the Guyver unit interacts with something inside the mountain. And this is kind of what we were getting at earlier, kind of causes like a giant crack in the mountain. When the piece of the cave cracks a little bit, later we catch Bob. Main character Bob, we catch him over here staring at the crack but not seeing it. He's like looking at the rocks around it, and one of the young ladies comes up and is like, "Hey, this shit wasn't here yesterday." So she just sticks a pickaxe right in there, and it comes toppling down, and all nice, soft, dusty rock, and barely any effort, and they're able to uncover a piece of metal. This piece of metal, she said, was soft to the touch, almost like leather,
but it was hard as metal.
Yeah, they put
it was just something to tap on it.
They put like a little trowel up to it and tap 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 tap. Which I was wondering why they had a trowel. They weren't exactly like doing anything with pavement.
You still
They
dig
weren't
with
putting
the
up
trowel.
sheetrock, but that wasn't a digging trowel.
You sure? Like they could chop the dirt around and dig with something else.
I don't know. Maybe.
Dude,
I don't know
come
all
on,
the,
man.
I don't know all the applications of what it takes to be an archaeologist. I just thought that was kind of a weird tool to have out there.
You're talking about a movie, man. Talk about the Guyver.
I'm talking about the movie, the Guyver movie. Like,
you're talking about a trowel.
Look here, man. I'm over here making my what do you call it? My observations known. Like,
about a trowel.
Like, this movie isn't actually the greatest movie ever made. But in my opinion, at 1994, what else had you seen like it?
I'm still gonna say it's the best TV movie I've ever seen.
To me, it is. To me, it really is.
It's up there with it.
It's beyond it, if you ask me.
Whoa! I might want to step bounds on that
one. How long are they going? You saw how long did he do that?
You know, the funny thing is, I've never seen the TV movie.
Then how are you going to talk about it being good?
Because it had Tim Curry in it.
That don't mean it was good.
That's disrespect.
Was Home Alone 2 good?
In New York?
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It was all right. You're right. It was all right. It wasn't as good as the first one, but
the first one was good.
First one was real good. Anyway. So eventually they end up getting, the whole team together to start uncovering this giant piece of metal. And we eventually find out that it's a spaceship.
A giant spaceship.
Oh, it's a super duper spaceship.
Like they made the mountain.
It's almost the size of the mountain for real. Yeah, like it's like within the mountain. It's a pretty gnarly sized spaceship.
I wonder if that rock just like built off of it or was made from the.
I think it might have crashed
and like just melted around it.
Yeah, maybe, or plate tectonics. That's been around for like the explanation. I think we talked about this last time. Was that the aliens, the creators, made humans and they were able to evolve humans into zoonoids, and they created a Guyver unit, and they were gonna try to put a Guyver unit with a zoonoid, but they put it with a human first, and they learned that it gave humans the ability to no longer adhere to the control of the creators, and the Guyver they had put it on outright destroyed some of the spaceships that they had were outright destroyed, one or two of them bitches. And so the aliens was like, all right, well, fuck you. And hauled ass. Yeah, just straight chuck the deuce.
So they go into the ship, and the dad of the archaeological site says we're cataloging and taking photos. And as soon as he says it, Sean and Corey,
the girl,
Corey,
like Corey. Corey.
That was a weird name to spell Corey.
What do you mean?
How was it spelled?
Cori.
Was it really?
Yeah. Because her name was like Corian. It wasn't Corian. It was like Corian.
So as soon as the dad says catalog and take photos, Sean and Corey touch everything. Every bit of thing.
Sean didn't touch nothing.
Well, Sean was trying to find something.
Yeah, Sean didn't touch a thing. But Corey, on the other hand, oh, well, it opened up. I guess I'll put my hands on it. And she picks up a Guyver unit.
Just imagine. Female Guyver.
It's a thing.
Is it?
It's a real thing.
Like in the series?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just curvier. Well, kind of looks like her armor kind of looks a little bit like the Bubblegum Crisis.
Yeah, I was thinking of that the whole time I was watching Guyver.
Because you can see, well, you know me.
No, it's not that. It's the Zillinoids. They remind me of boomers.
I'm gonna watch Bubblegum Crisis again.
All right.
Like, I love getting stuck in these shows. Like, real shit. Before, I'm going on a tangent now. I love getting stuck in these 80s, 90s shows where you get to see a lot more creativity, if you ask me. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody had some kind of battle suit. Okay, yeah, that's everybody biting everybody's jock, you know. But these battle suits were so creative in so many different ways. You had things like Kamen Rider and the Power Rangers, of course. You had Guyver and you had Samus Aran from Metroid. Um, I could probably go on for a while longer, but I'm gonna go and have to think about it for a little while longer. But like just being in like a power suit that gives you superpowers and being kind of like Batman and being aggressive, kind of like Moon Knight, and the Guyver to me has has it all. Like he can fly. It's a thing. They kind of sort of show it in this movie where he goes to go visit the chamber, like the main chamber of the spaceship,
Yeah.
and he turns into the Guyver unit.
Mhm.
When he starts to float in the air, you see it come from the unit from the ball bearing on his belt. You start to see that kind of spark and shine. That's reference to the actual Guyver unit. That's where he flies from. That's his gravitational control unit. Right. The Guyver unit isn't just it's not just a biological suit that of just like of flesh or whatever, that covers you. There's actual mechanisms within there. If you noticed, he has that ball in his forehead, right?
Yeah.
And then he has two more on the sides. Those actually move and collect information all around him all at the same time, kind of being able to keep him updated about his whereabouts.
So pretty much a sensory.
Yeah, he has sensory functions. There are other maneuvers he can do. With his blades, he can vibrate them, and
so fast they can just slice
right,
through things.
right. Which that
Faster.
like he can just use them, or he can vibrate them. You know what I mean? What you see him do in this movie, in both of these movies, he's just essentially using them. We haven't gotten into any of the nuances of the stronger abilities that the Guyver has yet, except for the chest cannon, in which both movies you see him just fully unleash the chest cannon. As he gets better and better with it, he learns how to use the chest cannon in small bursts. He can use just like one half of the chest cannon at full max, or just boom, 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 kind of like throwing little fireballs. You see that happen a lot more when he's fighting stronger enemies that are capable of killing a Guyver or other Guyvers. And I think one of the Guyvers can throw like a fucking gravity energy ball too. Don't quote me on that though. Like a like a Hadouken. No, like a Hadouken. Let's see here. So back to what I was getting at. These type shows and movies, these ideas, this creativity. I live for this shit. I live for this shit because I feel like when you do stuff like the Guyver, you're doing kaiju but miniatures, and I kind of like the down to earth stuff too. Kind of like it's kind of the reason why I like the Power Rangers, because you got to see them fight on the ground, throw hands, and and then at the end of the fight, Rita Repulsa comes out and turns motherfuckers into giant monsters, and now we got to have a big kaiju big battle.
No, I see what you mean. How you see these certain TV shows and movies, they're kind of like their own niche, like their own. Well, they're probably all in the mecha tagline. If you were watching the anime,
there is a tagline for them, but I don't know what it's called.
It might be mecha.
I think it's like super, not superhero, but like it's not mecha. Mecha is usually for like bigger shit.
Okay, might be. So, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, like bigger mechanical. Like, what's it called? Bubblegum Crisis. I don't think quite makes it mecha. It's mecha-ish, but I don't think it's quite mecha.
Still. They never go big.
They don't get real big. They get kind of big at one point, but like things like Armor Core, that's straight up mecha. Gundam, that's mecha. Pot Labor, that's mecha.
Does Tiger and Bunny count as mecha?
I don't think Tiger and Bunny does. I don't think that quite qualifies.
Are they taller than
they wear
Bubblegum Crisis?
They wear power suits like Bubblegum Crisis, Guyver size people, They're real people.
Because I know Trish, she only had like the real big
Pris.
Oh, it's Trish. Who am I thinking? Trish.
I thought when you said Trish, I immediately went to Devil May Cry.
I don't know why I came up with Trish then. Pris. Yeah, Pris had the upgrade with her bike.
Right, she had that big upgrade.
She got she can be like 8 foot tall.
Right, but she was still like smaller than a GoBot.
Yeah,
you know, there's I forget what it's called, but there is like a distinct difference of what these type of shows and movies are called.
But you like that kind of certain thing. You like
I'm a big fan.
These are big, well, not big, dumb robot fights, but like
they're damn close to big dumb robot battles. You know, I love big dumb robot battles. This is like watching the Beetleborgs. This is like watching fucking VR Troopers. My fault. I showed my age on that one. But anyway,
you are the old head here.
I am the old feller.
So anything else you want to talk about this? Because I know if there was a movie, I would tell people to watch because there's some favorite parts I want to talk about. There's a great shot I want to talk about. But is there anything you want to talk about else in this movie and not spoil it? Because ladies and gentlemen, from Liquid Gold Steve, this movie is an experience that you actually need to watch.
I think I am going to spoil some of this.
Okay.
I'm going to spoil some of it. I'm going to not give away the big parts. I mean, we stopped with Corey having the Guyver unit in her hand.
They did spoil the big bad, which made me mad.
You think they spoiled the big bad?
With him, like, halfway through, it's not like halfway through the movie, but like 45 minutes in, kind of knowing what's up. Like, you at least know the security is there.
Yeah.
So you can kind of put two and two together with the
When do you think they spoiled the big bad for you? Like
when the dude with the gray hair, the big boss, showed up and said, "Don't fuck it up, or it's your ass."
So like that made you know. So what you saying is that you would have preferred him stay a secret big bad for a while
because his boss fight was great.
Yeah,
his boss fight was great.
But
they kind of gave his hand away just a touch early for me.
You think so?
Like as soon as they found the ship, they should have showed that. He didn't. It was right before they found the ship when they showed it.
I think he could have got everything he wanted if he would have been patient.
The big bad, well, the mini big bad in the show.
I think he could have got everything he wanted if he would have been patient. I also kind of like how the boss told the big bad, like, "Do I need to send somebody better?" And I like that because that's a thing in Guyver. Like, there's always a Zoanoid better. There's always a motherfucker more capable than you sitting right in the organization.
And that made that moment right there in the movie made it better than the first movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just the boss. Like the big bad of Kronos, that was that head branch right there. He wasn't wacky. He wasn't fucking like, it wasn't like a Saturday night, like a Saturday morning cartoon like villain. He was an actual villain. Like you could see this in a movie. He was a typical movie villain.
Like, I need results.
But it wasn't like it. That was just too wacky. The first movie. Oh man, it just felt like it went.
Like our main villain here, Crane. I actually really like the way they dialed him back. Like, he was cool, calm. He wasn't charismatic. He was serious, but he was also concerned. The way he spoke to people, it was like you could tell he was the boss, but like even though his word is law, he's not over here, "Hey, get this fucking shit done now." He's over here like, "Hey, I kind of need you to get this done as fast as possible. Let's be reasonable about things. Let's get it. Well, hey, you told me I can do this my way. Yeah, I understand that, but this money ain't infinite."
And that's what made me mad that they gave his hand away too quickly. Because at the very beginning of the movie, when I first watched it, he seemed like the lawyer, like that was just like the go-between of the big boss and like the site. So when you see him, it's like, oh, he's nothing. The security might have been something,
right?
Like,
he's a peon.
He's a peon. He ain't nothing. But because you can see it. You can start seeing just a little bit in the movie, and then it just gave it away.
It's like if they hadn't have shown that scene with him talking to the TV screen, or at least
it would have made it better because like at the very end, you could see now everything kind of coming together.
Right.
When Sean and
Corey,
God, I can't think of the name for some reason. But Corey walked off, and then all of them, the dad, the girls, Illinois, the security guard, the bear.
When everybody shows up.
It was just, when they went one way and they went, I was like, the bad guys are going that way, the good guys are going this way.
Y'all better be careful. Oh, shit. There was, again, in this movie, the costume design was the super shit.
I didn't like the dad too much.
I liked the dad because the dad looked like a little fucking, like a little punk ass monster. And he's kind of a punk ass dude, you know?
Fair.
Like especially the way he had to put his head down when they took the Guyver unit from Corey.
Actually, there was actually a worse one. It was the bug. It was the Bugs Illinois. He looked like a bitch.
Yeah, he did.
Like
he did.
It was the head security guy. I liked how you like every time had to.
Yeah,
dude had hit his chest before.
He wanted to make sure you knew he was about to work.
No, dude, it's his activation. Like that's when his turn starts.
He's like a gorilla. Let me pump this shit up, son.
But the bad thing was he did it, and it would be a fucking cat squeaking.
Yeah, all kind of weird noises. I like that. They always put in because like
it was like an animal.
It's an animal-ish, but you don't really know what kind or how many noises that thing will make, and they just kind of smash some shit together, see what you get.
But it was him, the dad of the archaeological site, and the bug. That bug was whack.
That bug was super whack.
And the funny thing is, the dad beat the bug, and then Sean showed up and fucking beat the fuck out that man.
The security guard.
The security guard man
worked his ass out. He was like, I was waiting to get back at you.
And that was such a long, drawn out fight. It was perfect. It like even when they fell in the water, it didn't look like when you see costumes in the sunlight, they can't cover up their shit, but it looks so good.
Yeah,
it looks so good. Like, how can you make it?
I did prefer seeing the Guyver unit fight during the day, versus in the cave at night. I mean, I don't even think they used a lot of shading or like shadows to hide it either. Like, I think they put as much light as they could, reasonably speaking, being in a cave, that, you know, you got to see plenty of the fight. They didn't cut it to hell to where, you know, it just like, oh shit, somebody's dead now. What happened? I don't know. I guess he killed him. Like, you got to see all the contact you needed. You got to see all the cool special moves that Sean could pull off.
And nothing of this. Boy, I'm happy Aikido didn't show up. If that would have happened, I would have called Solid Snake whack. I would have called him whack.
He didn't use any Aikido at all. He used Muay Thai, motherfucking a little bit of boxing.
And he got his ass whipped too.
He used Taekwondo. And he got served. He was out here getting beat up. And I thought that was pretty awesome. Like when he was getting stabbed in the gut and shit.
Because there's better people out there. But
there's always somebody better.
You know what? He showed us what?
He did. And he had help. Except, you know, we're all in this together. We're all in this.
No.
I don't actually know the song. After you get past that first part.
I can hear it in my head.
That's crazy.
And it hurts. It honestly hurts.
I'm sorry you had to experience that.
You know, the bad thing was I used to thought it was the coolest thing ever. I used to thought.
You used to thought. I mean, like, there's shows from my childhood that, like, I'm not necessarily proud that I used to jam my ass out on, and I still know there's theme songs.
But it was like in the midst of Disney, and I think I watched all three of them. But I went from 12 to 14, so it was fair.
Okay, fair. Yeah, yours was spaced out, I guess.
I wasn't like 17 watching fucking High School Musical.
You could have been.
The bad thing was I watched High School Musical thinking I was gonna be like, there's gonna be dancing and singing in high school.
By the time you watched it, that shit was old though. Yeah,
I watched it when it debuted, dog. I must have been
at 12 and 14.
I might have been younger than that.
Because you're 9 years younger than me.
Might have been 2007, so I was.
Because like 10. I was around when that shit debuted.
I think I was 10 then. There you go. I was younger. My fault.
My fault. I ain't trying to clown you. Just like, ain't no way.
Hey, thanks for giving me my years back, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, you're welcome. You're younger than you think you are.
You got wrinkles on your fucking forehead. I ain't got none. I ain't got none.
You'll get them soon. You might not actually, because you always keep your eyes closed, like Brock from Pokemon.
Can you see anything? No.
Geodude. But as far as fight scenes in this movie, we got a good bit of them, and they were good fight scenes. What one was your favorite? What was like the fight that like you think was worth watching the movie again for?
Well, the ending. Like, that's the bad thing, is the ending fight scene.
The last fight?
Because like it was perfect. It climaxed perfect. They had, like, if I could take anything away from the daytime fight with the other 3 Xilinoids, was it might have been a little drawn out, but they had a 25 to 20 minute fight at the end with the boosted Guyver Xilinoid man. Oh, and and when he pulled out the chest can, man, booyah. Man, boy, yeah, I'm telling you,
like I think homeboy died like the guy in Roger Rabbit, the one who was he was a tune, and I'm melting. Oh, whoa, whoa. I think he died like that.
So, Kadawfi, any favorite fight scenes that make you always want to come back? Every single one.
Every single one.
Stop playing.
Like real shit.
Stop playing.
Look. Let me go through this. Like, I love the first fight scene with the gangsters.
Oh yeah,
I love
perfect.
that shit. It gives you everything you need to know about what you about to watch, except for the Zoonoids. You got a surprise coming if you ain't never seen this movie. Now, if you recall, this is my first introduction to Guyver at all. I ain't never seen this ever. I had never heard of it. And used to watch this movie when I was growing up, come on TBS or whatever. And the first time I saw it, we had a family friend over. His name was Carlton. He knew my grandma from back in the day, kicking it. We're watching the movie, and grandma was watching it with me, but she also got up and started cooking. She was chit-chatting with Carlton, So I'm trying to catch grandma's attention. Grandma, look at this part. Grandma, look at this part. Whoa, he just kicked that guy and made him do a backflip. Grandma, watch this part. So towards the ending area of the movie, where the Guyver gets attacked in the little ball in his forehead.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the ball. I holler out, Grandma, he got shot in the ball. Carlton, being the man in the house, hey, what'd you just say? You don't say shit like that. It's like, no, it was the ball in his hand. And I actually missed the rest of the movie because I was getting fussed at. Right. So I had to watch it like later that day when it came on again or whatever. Yeah, finished it again. But honestly, the best fight scene in the movie, I know I went on a long tangent for that one. The best fight scene in the movie to me, it's probably when they're outdoors. And he's fighting the not the girl, but the security guard again during the day.
Okay, when the 3 people show.
Yeah, when they're doing that fight scene. Like, I think I like that one the best. Like, I think that one, not because it was like the definitive fight scene. I feel like it made you need a little bit more. You was like, oh shit, I can't wait for that to, come to a head. And when it does, it's like, because of that fight scene, it made the final fight scenes better to me.
That whole fight scene, like, there was explosions, there was kick-ass shit, there was
heads rolling,
people.
Best kill in the movie, though? No, the best kill in the movie comes from our mystery black man, federal agent. When he killed the female, bro, the way he stood over and coldly looked at her, boom, boom, bah, bah, bah. Bitch. It just walked off on her. Like, bruh, that to me was the best kill in the whole movie. Because, like, he was just so cold. He knew he was going to die a little while ago and then going to stand up like he's the truth in the booth when he barely got away.
There's another scene, not a fight scene, but
Black guy doesn't die in this movie.
Black guy doesn't die in this movie.
Black guy does not die in this movie.
He gets left in the middle of the forest.
I mean, he had backup.
But he didn't die in this movie. All right. There's a scene at the very beginning of the movie after he fights the mobster, ruffian, whatever. Like, group of bad guys.
Yep, generic bad guys.
Generic bad guys with a mobster leader. He has a dream of the Guyver, like, wrapping around him in some, like, slaughterhouse, like, horror kind of shit.
Yeah, almost looks like some Hellraiser shit.
That's why I was thinking the same, like, because it looked like Hellraiser, but it was
90s.
That's what. Okay, was it 90s?
90s got a 90.
Or was that's what I brought up before. Was it controlling him at the beginning, and he kind of like grew out of being controlled by the Guyver? Like they're one now.
I think it had more influence over his actions than he wanted it to. I can't really say it was controlling him because it left him alone for the most part.
Except when the ship started showing up.
Right. So like stuff started going down.
Until the Guyver wanted to throw some fucking hands. He was like, you can't kill nobody. Fuck that.
As far as what you get to see, is something I think was also pretty cool in the movie. One of my not favorite scenes, but going back and watching it now and having a better understanding of the Guyver story and seeing it now. When Guyver goes into the spaceship and the spaceship just gives him all of history, just like, hey, here's the history, dude. Sort of. It leaves out the creators, doesn't tell them who or what the creators really are. Just kind of keeps that very vague. You don't even get to see one. But you get to see the test subjects, the life that was created on Earth. Like you get to see vague shapes inside of eggs and chrysalis and stuff. And it kind of like, is that a shark maybe? Is that like a tiger, a dinosaur? Like, what is that? And that could very well be some of the creatures that were planted here on Earth from the creators, or that could be some of the prototype zoonoids that they were making. You know, they were doing something there. And then they go on to show you a couple different Guyvers from the past. You see one that looks awful fucking badass. The black one with like the cool like armor, like he looks super fucking badass. And then you see that yellow one melting with the broken
so they pretty
ball
much
on his forehead.
They pretty much were kind of winking a nod, like
yep, that was a wink and a nod to the other two Guyver units.
I want to see the Dark Guyver.
I'm fucking nasty.
Is he good?
I'm fucking nasty.
Oh.
Nasty. I have to admire how I don't know if it's just Japanese writers or if it's like everybody. If people just do that, I have to admire how in every medium where there's like people fighting and throwing hands and stuff, I tend to like the secondary character versus the main character. In Dragon Ball, I like Vegeta. In Guyver, I like Dark Guyver. In Power Rangers, I like the Green Ranger when he was a bad guy. In
Blue Ranger.
In Power Rangers, I think it was Wild Force. I liked Zenaku. That motherfucker was elite. The fucking Wolf Ranger.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
The Green Ranger didn't beat the Power Rangers' ass the way the fucking Wolf Ranger beat the Power Rangers' ass. The Wolf Ranger motherfucking ran them off, like didn't just run them off their fucking like their powers. Like he ran their pockets time after time after time after time. And I think he was just working for himself. I don't remember like his whole story, but like he eventually was so nasty that like the guy that was inside the suit split from the suit and became a different Power Ranger, but the suit continued being a fucking Power Ranger also. Like the Wolf Ranger continued being his own entity. That's how nasty that motherfucker was. Like he had a Piccolo split.
So you just like the secondary.
But because they make them nastier. They make the secondary characters much nastier than they make primary characters. Every time. Like, that's the guy Fist of the North Star. I like Ray better than I like Kenshiro. And mind you, Kenshiro nasty as a bitch. But Ray of the South Star? Nanto Shinken? You crazy? Are you fucking crazy? He just be slicing people into ribbons. Ain't no fucking touch you and let you wait 3 seconds to die. No, you're dead now.
You're dying now.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, and you're gonna feel it.
That motherfucker. You're gonna feel every little bit of
You're gonna feel this ribbon slicing here. Hold on. It's over. Goodbye. And he does a Texas Condor kick.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Did you have any other spots or pieces you wanted to kind of dig into
about this movie?
Yeah.
Not really, because this movie to me just it's a great lounge around movie. You could put this bitch on like every fucking day.
I think you could.
And it could just be in a movie cycle. And
for me, if I had it in a movie cycle, it would go Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, Secret of the Ooze, Guyver, Dark Hero.
Then Guyver 1.
No, never Guyver 1. That never gets that never gets love. Now you made me forget what the other one was. Thanks, Steve. Okay.
You're welcome.
I had a third one that was good. I mean, it could totally play in the movie cycle for me, though. That's for sure. Like, I could let that just run all day long. Oh, and Starship Troopers. Yeah, that was the other one. Starship Troopers. I could have them all in the same. I could let them bitches play shuffle. And I'd be a happy camper all day. Just cut my TV on and don't give a fuck which movie's on, just as long as it's on at a good part.
I just like, we talk shit about how Hollywood would fuck up a movie. But you know what they did in this movie? They didn't fuck it up.
It's because it was like a low budget movie. And like they didn't get their nuts all in it.
That's what I think. If the first movie wasn't, and I've told Kadawfi this off air, I feel like if they would have made this movie first, it would have, I don't know, like there might have been like 40 fucking other Guyver movies.
Yeah, it would be like Resident Evil.
It would have rivaled Avengers.
It rivaled the Avengers, Resident Evil, Transformers at this point. Fast and Furious.
Oh my God.
It rivaled Fast and what are they at 12 now?
I think they're at 11.
Do we count Hobbs and Shaw as
it's a spinoff?
We don't count that as Fast.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
It's in the Fast like the Fast
universe,
like tree, but it's off there. It's off there because like they can't have Black Superman. You know, they're like that's what Idris Elba was. He was Black Superman.
Was he in a Fast movie?
He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh no shit! For real?
He was the bad guy.
For real?
He was Black Superman.
Oh no shit! No shit, for real?
Yeah,
when did you watch Hobbs and Shaw?
I've never seen Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh.
I just know that he's Black Superman.
Via pop culture.
Via pop
kind of
culture.
like how I've never seen any of the original 3 Star Wars movies, but
I've never seen the original Star Wars movies.
I can quote some shit, you know.
I've definitely seen the second remake Star Wars movie. I don't think I've seen the first remake Star Wars movie, and then I saw the third one. One where he chops his legs off and shit.
Oh, you didn't see the second one?
I've seen the second one, and I've seen the third one. I haven't seen the first remake.
Oh, that first one? Check this stupid shit out. I was in the 7th grade, and it had come out like on VHS at the time. DVDs were kind of still a thing, but like moms had got the VHS, and I was like kind of staying home alone for the first time. Like she was kind of worried. My brother and sister were going to grandma's house. I didn't really want to go, and she was like, "Well, I guess okay." So she had gone to Blockbuster and got me some movies. And I didn't check the name of the movie. I just slapped the bitch into the VHS, had a bowl of cereal, and was like, all right, here we go. And it had that famous title crawl. And I was like, somebody's copying Star Wars, I guess. Because, it's that famous title crawl. Everybody knows that when you see that, it's Star Wars. You ain't even got to see Star Wars. You just know it. And so, I go on, put my bowl up or whatever, and I come back, and I'm kind of half-ass watching this movie. Just kind of, what the fuck is going on here? Like, these guys are weird. It's like, They gonna pull out lightsabers? Come on, Star Wars already did that, right? Talking shit now at this point, like talking mad shit. And then it's like, motherfucking, I see like them trying to use the Force, and I'm like, that looks so fucking whack. Who does that? Like, who do you think this is, Star Wars? And then I saw Yoda, and I was like, oh shit, I'm watching Star Wars. No shit, I'm watching Star Wars. Like, oh, okay. Also, so now I'm waiting for Darth Vader to show up the whole fucking movie. Like, I thought, I didn't know that there was the original. I knew there was Star Wars. I didn't know there was Star Wars episode 4, 5, and 6. I didn't know none of that shit. I knew there was Darth Vader. I knew Luke, I'm your father. I knew there was, you know, I knew some things like that, but like,
you didn't know there was prequels.
And I knew Billy D motherfucking Williams was Lando Calrissian.
He did kind of look fly in that blue.
Ain't no kind of. Billy D Williams is, and forever will be the flyest black man to ever step on this goddamn planet. But anyway.
Final thoughts on Guyver Dark Hero.
Watch that shit.
Watch it.
Love that shit. Enjoy that shit.
Watch it. Comment down below and watch it again.
Dead ass.
And then comment down below again.
You can rent it or buy it on YouTube. I'm sure you could probably do it on Amazon.
Or you can go on tubeu.com and watch it for free.
They just go to YouTube. It's on YouTube for free. Straight
up. We can't. You know, if YouTube,
it's on YouTube.
But if they hear this shit, they're gonna say nah.
Bro, that shit's been free on YouTube for 15 years.
Yeah, but we talk about it.
15 years. The shit has more views than we've viewed things.
If they know, if they hear us, man,
bro, they know.
Stop us.
And they got commercials on it. The shit is monetized. They're well aware.
Oh, if you got YouTube Premium, you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's right. You don't know about no commercials.
Oh, I haven't seen a commercial in years.
10,000 years.
Like, yeah.
At the end of the day, yeah, watch fucking Guyver.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dark Hero.
I'm going to say this was a great movie. I'm not going to say it was the fucking 10 out of 10 like masterpiece you're going to get every single award for. But compared to the first one and a lot of TV movies, man, this shit was the shit.
Yeah, this one hits.
And you really have to check this shit out. You have to see for the action, the costumes, because that boy made that fucking Guyver unit.
Yeah, he looked damn good in that unit.
Fucking chef's kiss up in this motherfucker.
Oh, before I let it go, I mentioned this off air to Liquid Gold. David Hayter and the young lady who played Corey, I cannot remember her name. Young lady who played Corey, they looked like off-brand Power Rangers.
They did.
And I think that's partially why I was attracted to this movie as a kid also.
I can see what you're saying because, like, you can see a Power Ranger and you're like, oh, let's watch this movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, bro, Green Ranger was the motherfucking, like, Power Rangers were cool. They were really cool. And then the Green Ranger showed up. And that changed life. That changed
all the life.
It didn't just change my life. It changed the Power Rangers' life. Like, this motherfucker, if you don't know shit about the Green Ranger, for the younger crowd, if you don't know shit about the Green Ranger, this motherfucker didn't just show up like in a green costume. It was a green costume with a gold vest. And he had instead of like a big sword or an axe or a bow and arrow or some shit like that, he had a dagger. He just had a dagger. And his dagger was also a flute. And when he played this motherfucking flute, like Legend of Zelda playing the ocarina, his Megazord came out. And his Megazord didn't just come out like everybody else's out of the mountain, out of the volcano. His came out of the ocean. His Megazord was called the Dragon Zord. Stood up on 2 legs, had no wings, had a big spiky back, and blew fire out of his mouth. His Megazord was Mecha Godzilla. The Green Ranger was the motherfucking shit is all I'm trying to say. So, yeah, if I saw anybody look like the Green Ranger when I was a kid, you goddamn right I watched that movie. Guyver 2, Guyver Dark Hero. Put your face on it. Put your eyes on it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Comment. Catch us on YouTube. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. I've been Kadawfi Crush.
And I've been Liquid Gold Steve.
And I want y'all to stay classy. And thanks for stopping by.
Was that bad?
Watch fucking Guyver.
Dark Hero.